other big story tonight. Day one of the papal conclave ending with no new pope chosen.
All right, but there is a chance we could see white smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel chimney tomorrow with another round of voting set to get underway. Fox 5 Sharon Crowley has been monitoring it all and joins us live with the latest.
Getting up early. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. just to be safe. Centuries old and sacred traditions and history unfolding in the Sistine Chapel today. The College of Cardinals taking the first vote to elect a new pope to lead the Roman Catholic Church. Today, black smoke, as you see there, rising out of the special chimney on the roof of the Sistine Chapel on the first day of the conclave, signaling no pope has been picked yet. The late Pope Francis appointed a majority of the 133 cardinals eligible to vote in the conclave. A two-thirds majority, though, is needed to elect the next pope, meaning at least 89 cardinals need to vote in agreement. After this evening's first ballot, the cardinals return to the Vatican residences for the evening.
They're going to be talking with each other and continuing to deliberate in terms of what qualities are needed in church leadership at this moment. You have to remember that these cardinals come from all over the world. This is the most geographically diverse group of electors in Catholic history. And so they're going to have different priorities depending upon what the issues are in their countries.
So the day began with a mass, and then the cardinals, as you see here, processing into the Sistine Chapel, each cardinal, including New York's Timothy Cardinal Dolan, taking a solemn oath of secrecy. And shortly after that, the doors were closed to the outside world so these holy men could begin to deliberate. Even cell phones are jammed near the chapel to prevent eavesdropping. The eyes of the world wait and wonder if the new pope will be like Pope Francis or someone who takes the Catholic Church in a different direction.
You'll see the next pope being his own man, but building on the preaching of Pope Francis.
Okay, so the next vote for the new pope coming in just a few hours, about 4 a.m. our time, 10 a.m. at the Vatican. The cardinals generally vote twice a day in the morning and afternoon, and ballots are burned after each round of votes. Tens of thousands of onlookers are also filling up the streets in St. Peter's Square, hoping to be a witness to history. The previous two popes, guys, Benedict and Francis, were elected on the second day of voting, which is tomorrow. Okay. So that's why I'm getting up.
Maybe that's the day. Ready.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Sharon. And we do want to let you know that Fox 5 is streaming a live camera 24/7 from Vatican City on our YouTube page. You can watch live for any signs of smoke by scanning the QR code you see here. You can see live pictures of Rome, St. Peter's Basilica, the chimney, and get real-time updates.
Day 3 of jury selection in the All right, taking a look at Wall Street now. The Dow closed up almost 300 points as investors waited to hear whether the Fed would lower interest rates. The Fed deciding today to keep rates unchanged at 4.3%, rebuffing President Trump's demand to lower borrowing costs. Fed Chair Jerome Powell cited the impact of tariffs and falling consumer confidence as a reason to hold rates steady for now.
New tonight, President Trump says he plans to announce a major trade deal tomorrow. He posted the update on Truth Social. The president says there will be a news conference at 10 a.m. where he will give more details. This would be the first deal with another country since those tariffs went into effect.
And now breaking basketball news, the Garden Electric tonight as the Knicks pull off a game to win 91-90 on the road at the other Garden, the TD Garden in Boston.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get right out to Fox 5's Kendall Green, who watched the game with fans. Kendall, up 2-zip on the road. This is wild. Wow.
Hey, good evening, Stephen Natasha. If you're a Knicks fan, you're on top of the world right now, and you don't need me to explain why. The last final seconds of Game 2 see this crowd going crazy. Take a listen.
Tatum maneuvering.
The Knicks once again tonight down by 20. No team has ever come back from a 20-point deficit in back-to-back games in the playoffs. It's the first time it's ever happened in NBA history. The Knicks went on a more than 21-2 run versus the Celtics in the last 7 minutes of the game to get tied at 90. Brunson went on the line. He gave the Knicks a lead, and then we just saw it. A key steal to seal the deal. Now New Yorkers, they call it Knicks and 4.
20 points for the time. It don't matter. You can never doubt our collectness. I'm telling you, man, Knicks getting 4, Knicks getting 4. Nothing is stopping us, man.
We said we're going to win when they were down 20 points.
All the time.
What do you think, man? We're going to play.
Down by 20, it don't matter. Knicks and 4.
Now, major takeaway here is Knicks are up 2-0, and we haven't even made it back to the Garden yet. So I think we got ourselves a real series here. They're yelling Knicks in 4. You hear it? Knicks in 4! Knicks in 4! Knicks in 4! Knicks in 4! You see that, Tasha?
Very well,
I think
man.
Kendall's a good luck charm.
Yeah, they're up
every
2-0
time
on the
we're up
road.
there.
No complaints from here. All right, Kendall, we appreciate it. Well, it is the viral video that has since spurred other dog owners to come forward.
Yeah, now a community coming together to raise its concerns about problematic pit bulls on the Upper West Side.
Plus, an important update to a Fox 5 exclusive, the sentence handed down to a former worker caught on tape abusing a teen at an autism center.
Well, tempers flaring tonight on the Upper West Side at a packed town hall.
All right, the issue, a savage dog attack caught on camera involving a pair of pit bulls and a chihuahua. Fox 5's Richard Giacobas has been talking to concerned community members. He has the latest tonight.
Peanut butter on the bone.
Little Penny had a hearty breakfast this morning along with some special treats. Treats this little 10-year-old service dog more than deserves after surviving a harrowing attack over the weekend that left her nearly dead. That's video of 2 large pit bulls mauling the 16-pound chihuahua while out for a walk on Saturday night. All dogs were on leashes at the time, but once the pit bulls broke from their owner's grip, Penny couldn't escape. And video obtained by Fox 5 shows a similar attack from 2 similar-looking dogs a few months back in the same neighborhood.
And the next thing I knew, the dogs were all over my dog Grover and attacking him like he was a stuffed animal, ripping and tearing him apart. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, like, get him off my dog, get them off my dog, and the guy would do nothing.
Rover, another small dog, did not survive this attack back in January. Now the owner of that dog, who didn't want to be identified, is joining the fight to demand that the owner of what she calls 2 vicious pit bulls be held accountable.
And the police never came.
Which prompted members of the NYPD to attend tonight's standing room only town hall at the Goddard Community Center, where dozens of pet owners expressed their fear of living in this neighborhood.
Why is it that a dog can attack another dog and nothing get done? Because if you attack me, then nothing gets done.
And the police keep dropping the ball time and time again is just unacceptable. I am beyond lucky that I still have a dog. So the fact that she lost hers and nobody did anything is unthinkable.
At the town hall tonight, Councilwoman Gail Brewer says the assistant district attorney is now investigating Saturday's case, while her office looks to bring legislation to the state level that would criminalize dog-on-dog attacks, where the dog's owner would get charged. Meanwhile, those 2 pit bulls are still free to roam in this neighborhood, at least for now. On the Upper West Side, Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
Frightening stuff. All right, thanks, Richard. Well, major disruptions continue at Newark Liberty Airport, where flights, dozens of them, have been canceled again today. Air traffic controllers temporarily lost communication with planes in the sky a week ago. The FAA now says that the blackout was likely caused by a data outage. To fix the problems, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the agency is adding 3 new telecom connections between New York and Philadelphia, where the controllers who handle Newark are based. It's also increasing controller staffing. So far, no exact timeline was given for those changes.
Well, today was a deadline to get your real ID. Travelers were supposed to have the upgraded ID cards to fly domestically without a passport, but the Department of Homeland Security now says those with regular IDs can still fly, but they're going to face extra security. Today, travelers were given pamphlets informing them of the new requirements as they went through TSA at airports in New York.
I got to the airport, they asked for my real ID. I said I didn't have one, or I didn't know if I had one. They looked at my license. They said, here, take this piece of paper, call the DMV, make an appointment, you just pay some fees.
The state's DMV is urging people who don't need the real ID right away to wait until the current rush is over to get one.
Long Island Railroad service back to normal tonight. That was not the case, though, this morning. There were a number of cancellations and delays that impacted thousands of commuters. The MTA says they were caused by Amtrak power issues in one of the East River tunnels. Well, now to sentencing day for a former autism center worker who pleaded guilty to abusing a teen in his care.
It's a story we've been following for months, ever since disturbing videos surfaced showing the teen being abused. Teresa Priello has the update.
It's this video that exposed a stomach-churning pattern of abuse inside the renowned Anderson Center for Autism in Dutchess County. A nonverbal autistic teenager cries for his mother as his caregiver, Garnett Collins, grabs him by the genitals in an attempt to make him behave. Now that caregiver has been sentenced to prison, 1 to 3 years for endangering the welfare of an incompetent or physically disabled person. Judge Edward McLaughlin told the court his hands are tied by the state legislature's sentencing guidelines.
With what she did, the sentence is just too little.
For the first time, the man who recorded that video that sparked the criminal investigation speaks exclusively to Fox 5, sharing why he took the extraordinary step to record the abuse.
What was happening was inhumane, and it was a violation of the human right.
Emerson Fury is from Malawi. He came to New York to learn from the staff at Anderson, hoping to use that knowledge back home in Africa. What he witnessed instead was abuse. How many kids would you say you saw being abused while you were there?
Almost everyone.
Before he recorded the video, Emerson says he confronted Garnett Collins, which put him at odds with his fellow coworker. Then he went to a manager.
She said she's gonna deal with it. And also, she said that what happens in the house ends in the house.
The abuse didn't stop, so he kept reporting it until he says his managers began retaliating. Eventually, he decided to record what he was seeing, proof he was telling the truth.
Make everything possible that I have the evidence. So it wasn't easy to get those videos.
In the process, Emerson says Anderson suspended him but wouldn't tell him why. While he was on suspension, he decided to share this video with the family of the boy who suffered the worst of the abuse. And that's when he says he was fired. Do you regret sharing the video? Do you regret taking the video?
No, I don't regret at all. Not at all.
After witnessing today's sentencing, the family told Fox 5, quote, sitting in the courtroom today and hearing Garnett Collins receiving only 1 to 3 years in prison for the abuse and sexual assault of our son was another injury inflicted on our family. The only solace we have is knowing this monster will not be hurting anyone else's son or daughter for the next 1 year. But this is not enough. We need to do more. I also reached out to the Anderson Center for comment. They sent us the exact same statement they have shared with us each and every time we've done a story on their institution. Today's comment reads in part, the allegations of reprehensible conduct are entirely contrary to our values, and we have been fully cooperating with the authorities in their thorough investigation. In the newsroom, Teresa Priello, Fox 5 News.
Well, it's the horrific helicopter crash that took the lives of a family and a pilot on board.
And now we're getting some new details on the crash as calls grow to ban tourist helicopters in part of our area.
And a new effort to make sure our military heroes always have a place to call home. How Tunneler Towers is pitching in to help our nation's veterans struggling with homelessness.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
How could you forget this video? A deadly tragedy on the Hudson. A helicopter carrying a family of tourists crashing into the Hudson River last month. Now the NTSB has released its preliminary report, and it's shedding new light on this horrific crash.
All right, this comes as some local lawmakers want to ban non-essential chopper flights near the Statue of Liberty. Fox 5's Teresa Priello has the details.
For the first time since the Bell 206 helicopter crashed into the Hudson last month, the National Transportation Safety Board is revealing the chopper was on its 8th flight of the day and did not have a flight recorder on board.
The very first sentence on the report, the helicopter traveling south before it suddenly separated into 3 major sections, fuselage including the engine, main rotor system, including both main rotor blades, transmission, roof beam structure, and the tail boom, including the tail rotor. That is probably the most important part of the NTSB investigation, that they have all of the parts.
The report, accompanied by photos, determined the aircraft broke into 3 parts before crashing, killing a family of 5 from Barcelona enjoying a sightseeing trip along the Hudson.
The paramount thing to discover is what failed in the fuselage that took that transmission, the shaft, and the rotor head off the aircraft, which essentially doomed the aircraft.
The crash, according to Tristani and other pilots, is about as tragic and rare as it gets. And yet, over time, they believe the NTSB will get to the bottom of what happened. In the meantime, a bipartisan tri-state coalition of lawmakers wants all non-essential helicopter travel banned.
I would be opposed to that. It's sort of, in my view, perhaps an overreaction to this. This NTSB preliminary report doesn't determine what the probable cause was, so I think any of the legislators need to wait until that probable cause is determined rather than to make a proclamation like that.
Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
3 former Memphis police officers have been acquitted in the deadly beating of Tyree Nichols. A jury found Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith not guilty on all charges, including second-degree murder. During a 2023 traffic stop, Nichols was pulled from his car, pepper sprayed, and hit with a taser. Nichols fled, but officers caught up with him. He was then beaten with a police baton during the arrest and died 3 days later.
On Long Island, a former New York State trooper who was accused of shooting himself and then lying about the incident appeared in court. Thomas Macia was expected to enter a guilty plea, but he told the judge that he's struggling with his mental health. That led the judge to reschedule the court proceeding. His attorney spoke about this outside court.
The reason we're here, the reason why Tom is here for a criminal case is because it's all based in mental health issues. I mean, there's no surprise when you are charged with shooting yourself and reporting it as being shot by a perp. There's obviously something that's not right.
Prosecutors say Macia staged his own shooting, leading to a massive manhunt that came up empty. As part of the plea deal, he agreed to 6 months in jail, 5 years probation, mental health treatment, and paying nearly $300,000.
Memorial Day has taken on a special meaning for a Boy Scout from Westchester.
That's right. He's finishing a project to locate and honor veterans buried in a cemetery in Rye. And as Fox 5's Richard G. Covas shows us, he needs your help to make sure those heroes are never forgotten.
Every Memorial Day, 16-year-old Mark Pellegrini would meet up at Greenwood Union Cemetery in Rye with his Boy Scout Troop 2 to take part in the annual flag replacement with the American Legion to honor those who fought for our freedom.
As I realized, we're still doing the same things over and over.
But every year, Mark and his troop would run out of flags after visiting just a few dozen graves. So he decided to take on a challenge, destined to locate every veteran buried here and give them the recognition they deserve.
It's the least we can do. It's the least we can do to put flags and respect them and show them, like, you're acknowledged, we care about you, thank you for your service, even after they passed on.
This was no easy feat for Mark. There were more than 29,000 people buried here at Greenwood Union. He just had to determine who was a veteran and who wasn't. So he went to City Hall, got a list of names, and went through each one, name by name. After nearly a year, he finally determined who was buried here as a veteran. Turns out, more than 2,000 at Greenwood Union. His mom says it was a challenge he was certainly up for.
He'd look on the maps and he'd locate them and highlight them, and now our house is full of maps with all these like highlighted pictures and stuff.
And so this scout standout, decorated with dozens of merit badges, reached out. Mark received a grant along with some generous donations of 2,000 miniature flags. Mark has already begun placing Old Glory on each veteran's headstone, including his grandfather and his uncle. He just needs help to cover the entire 50-plus acres of land. On May 17th, Mark is asking for volunteers to help him meet this goal. Those who want to give a small token of appreciation to the brave souls who fought for us, who gave us the freedom we have today. So far, a few dozen have signed up, but more are needed.
I want them to know that they're doing something very impactful, very meaningful.
Mark hopes to do this every year. After all, he says, it's the least he can do to say thank you.
No one gets missed.
In Rye, Richard Giacovas, Fox 5 News.
What an amazing thing he's doing.
No doubt about it. Great work. All right, still to come tonight.
Mother's Day is this Sunday, and tonight Lisa Evers is taking a look at the joys and challenges of modern motherhood. A groundbreaking ceremony in New Jersey as a brand new Veterans Village is being constructed to help our military heroes who are struggling with homelessness.
All right, it's all part of an effort by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation to assist our vets in need. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis gives us a preview.
Groundbreakings are always special. This one even more so for Tunnel to Towers Chairman Frank Siller. This one will address the homelessness of U.S. veterans.
It's going to be a multiple-story building. It's going to house, I believe it's 126 veterans.
On this spot in Bayville, New Jersey will eventually be Bayville Veterans Village. As these renderings show, the village will feature 98 single-occupancy apartments. The ground floor of the apartment complex will offer support services that include job training, legal services, and mental health support and counseling. The complex will also have a gym, multi-purpose room, game room, and lounges. 24 standalone comfort homes like this one will also be a part of the village. The foundation says these will be for elder veterans who've applied for assistance.
Veterans that are a little bit older can have a little bit more trouble reintegrating back into the community, and they're looking for a permanent place to call home and live out their golden years.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been building veterans villages across the country. This is video from the groundbreaking of the village in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The foundation says they will continue to build as many as they can, adding it's the least they can do to those who've defended our homeland, but have found themselves without a home of their own.
There are homeless veterans that are unseen, and they need a good place to spend their lives.
This is not a shelter. I want to make that very clear. They need that dignity and that hope back into their lives, and this is what this project here in Bayville is going to do.
Bayville Veterans Village is expected to be completed in 2026. Antoine Lewis, Fox 5 News.
And be sure to catch our Fox 5 special Tower of Heroes for the inspirational stories behind the annual Tunnel to Tower Foundation's Tower Climb at One World Trade Center. You can watch it Thursday, May 22nd at 10:30 in the evening. Then again on Memorial Day at 12:30 and 5:30 p.m.
Well, this weekend is all about the moms and mother figures in our lives.
All right, but we know being a mom isn't all roses, especially with the 21st century challenges that come along with modern motherhood. Lisa Evers is going to take a deep dive.
And it's a sure sign of the summer. We now know when Rye Playland will open its doors, but not everything's going to be ready.
Being a mother comes with many rewards, but today moms also set to face some new struggles with societal pressures from social media.
And in this week's episode of Street Soldiers, Lisa Evers explores the complexities and the joys of modern-day motherhood.
More and more women today are redefining motherhood on their own terms, pursuing their own dreams while they raise their kids and strengthen our communities. We're celebrating all the moms and mother figures who perform this vital role in our society and honoring them for their often unrecognized daily labors of love. Some myths about motherhood can be challenging, like the more you work at it, the better a mom you are. Pediatrician Dr. Whitney Caceres grappled with her own urge to be a supermom and saw so many other mothers under similar self-imposed pressures. She wanted to help, so she wrote a book called Doing It All.
What do I care about the most? What do I value? What do I prioritize? And then how do I put more time, energy, and attention to those things? And then get the rest of the stuff done, or say it doesn't matter at all, or give it to somebody else.
Nowhere is motherhood celebrated with more exuberance than on social media. Some of it is celebrity moms showing off their luxury lifestyles beyond the reach of most. But there are a lot of regular moms too, a diverse group highlighting their journey with humor. Motherhood influencer and entrepreneur Sky Landish says it makes moms feel connected.
I think the coolest thing is the transparency. Honestly, I feel like I didn't know anything about motherhood before I started. So seeing everybody like post and share their journey and how different they are, I'm like, everybody should have somebody to relate to on Instagram. And you can pick and choose who to relate to.
Young Urban Moms founder and mother of two, Mary Almonte, says motherhood isn't for every woman and that women should be respected for the choices they make. While everyone loves adorable babies, Almonte says she finds great joy in seeing her kids growing into young adulthood.
Watching my kids navigate through life now as their own individual selves. I watch them solve problems with the tools that they may not admit, but I've given them.
We get more into this on our next episode of Street Soldiers. Kick off Mother's Day weekend by joining our celebration of Mothers Today, Friday night after the 10 o'clock news. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
All right, let's get a check of the forecast now with Nick. Hoping for good weather on Mother's Day.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get it. That's good. We've got some nice weather and some not so nice weather on the way, Nick.
Yeah, we got to get over this little hump in the road here. That'll be coming up for starting really mid to late afternoon tomorrow and right through Friday. That'll be our next chance of rain coming up in the forecast.
We held a ribbon cutting ceremony today for the newly renovated Larry Doby Field. Doby's legendary number 14 is engraved in the center field area. The nearly $3 million project includes state-of-the-art synthetic turf, which replaces natural grass. Larry's son was on hand to remember his father's legacy.
Always important to him that the youth had a place to play, that they would go to school and educate themselves and become better citizens. And I can't think of a better thing that would make him happy than knowing that people are going to get the same opportunities to play on fields like this that, you know, he had as a kid, and hopefully, you know, go to college or maybe make it even to the pros one day.
Doby made his debut with the Cleveland Indians 11 weeks after Jackie Robinson broke Major League Baseball's color barrier with the Dodgers. Well, here at Fox 5, we solve problems and mysteries.
And tonight, that mission is leading us to a mysterious Instagram influencer.
This interesting life that I was observing on Long Island, nobody was speaking to it.
You might not recognize the voice, but you definitely know his content. Meet the Long Island Wise Guy next. It's a viral social media account with more than 500,000 followers. We're talking about the Long Island Wise Guy.
All right, the person behind the viral page has kept his identity secret, not even telling his own family, but tonight he's sitting down with our Jody Goldberg for an interview you will not see anywhere else.
He goes by the Long Island Wise Guy. His profile picture, the man with a monocle. Banana! His page showcases Long Island and its quirks, and it celebrates the people that make it unique. Oh! From the brush fires in Manorville to the mastic bull that escaped a slaughterhouse. His most popular clips get millions of views on social media, but who is he?
When I think Wise Guy, I think like Italian, like Tony Soprano.
It's probably just a random young guy from Long Island. I have no idea.
You could walk by or live next to him and never know.
I'm a father with little kids.
The mystery surrounding the identity of the Wise Guy has been the talk of Long Island for years, until now. Well, kind of. He agreed to an interview if we shot him in silhouette and modified his voice. He shares with me how he got started.
This interesting life that I was observing on Long Island, nobody was speaking to it. 7 years ago when he started the page, he never
expected to stay anonymous, and now with the exception of his wife and a select few, those who think they know him actually don't.
My mother does not know. She's not going to be happy about that. People will be DMing me all the time. Like, oh my God, this is Tommy. They thought they knew me. Like, I would remind them of somebody they went to high school with. And then it just kind of became this joke. And I was just, let's just keep this mystique going. So to all my friends who were not going to be happy when they find out that I'm running this, don't be insulted.
The Wise Guy, a Long Island native, stops short of sharing where he grew up or how old he is. But he does tell me he could get anywhere from a few dozen to hundreds of satirical videos and content every day.
If the ground shakes, my inbox explodes. I would get so many submissions that my DM won't even function properly.
From traffic to mass transit, Wise Guy highlights silly surveillance, heroic rescues, and reckless maneuvers. But that's not all. You'll also find bloopers and memes. He gets paid but says it doesn't feel like work. This is one of his favorite posts.
That's fake. No, it ain't. That's the drones.
As for what makes the cut, he tells me the more bizarre, the better.
They'll see something highly unusual, and their first instinct is Long Island Wise Guy.
The mystery behind the man continues. Will he ever reveal his identity?
I want to have this contrast of like just being a normal person for a little while.
On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, we just looked at the video of the guy singing in the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of content.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
We followed him today. All right, well, there's more of the 10 o'clock news straight ahead.
We'll be right back.
There were concerns about the future of Rye Playland, but today Westchester County Exec Ken Jenkins announced it will be open Memorial Day weekend, but the good news didn't stop there. Admission that weekend will be free, and officials are looking to open the pool by then as well. However, county leaders did say at this point they don't know what rides will be available. They said that's up to the state because they, of course, handle the safety inspections.
Good news, though.
Yep, all right. And that does it for us tonight. If you missed any part of the 10 o'clock news, you can always catch an encore on our free streaming app, Fox Local.
Where you can stream our newscasts anytime. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.